Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm back with another video. In this video, we are going to talk about. I no no. We are going to talk about the next video of this playlist that we have decided earlier. Basically, in this playlist, we are going to about the different technology. I know this is not technology. This is basically some kind of web technology that we used in order to represent the in order to present web that is used in order to present those articles in front of the web. So I know quite a bit about this. That's why I'm starting about. Furthermore, we are going to explore about different technologies. So in a little video, I had already said that in a little video I heard in earlier video I had already said that we were going to cover. In next video, we are going to cover the basic of HTML. So what does HTML means? HTML means hypertext markup language is a code that is used to structure a web page and its content. For example, content could be structured with a set of paragraphs, a list of bullet points. HTML is the code that is used to structure a web page and its content. Basically, HTML is through HTML we write a code or a structure that is web page code that is used to structure a web page and its content. For example, content could be structured within a set of paragraph, a list of bullet points, using image data tables. As the title suggests, the article will give a basic understanding of HTML and its function. So let's continue with this topic. So what this topic is? So what is HTML? HTML is markup language that defines the structure of your content. HTML consists of series element which we use in close wrap different part of the content to make them appear certain way or a certain way. The enclosing tag can be make a word, image hyperlink to somewhat else, or can italize word, or can make font bigger or smaller, so on. Take the following line of content. My cat is very grumpy. HTML markup language that define the structure of a content. Basically define the what are the things that we do, what are the things that we can use in order to represent things on the web page. HTML consists of series of elements, or can we say HTML consists of series of element or a text that is which is used in clause, that is used in a semi broken part, in clause or wrap part different part of the content to make appear on certain way. If we want to represent data in a certain way, that we use different element or act in a certain way. In closing tag can we make a word or image hyper to somewhat else. Through this tag we can represent link in a different way, or it can be either a, it can be either a, it can be either a link or text. We can represent through these element in a different way. Can italize word, can make the font bigger or smaller, or so on. For example, line, my cat is very grumpy. If we want to line to stand itself, we can specify that it is a paragraph enclosing it. So if we want to represent this text in a paragraph form, we can use paragraph tag in order to do so. That it's one of the tag that is used to represent text in a paragraph form. Anatomy of HTML. Let's explore the paragraph. Opening tag, closing tag. Basically there are this they if we represent a tag, there are sub part of it. First part is called opening, and last part is called closing tag. The text that we written in front, in between it, that in between of them, the text or link that we written in between that are our content. Through this tag we can use the main part of the element as follows. The opening tag, the consists of the name of the element in a class B, wrapped in opening and closing and collaborating. This is state where the element begin and start to take effect. In this case, where the paragraph begin, it represents the beginning of the paragraph or clo- uh, opening of a paragraph. Through this we can represent an opening of paragraph. Through closing tag, thus this is same as the opening tag except that include forward slash. In every closing tag we are going to see either it can be h1 or h2, h3 or div tag. There is a slash in every closing tag in forward slash before the element name that is state where the element end. That's and it is one key difference between a opening and closed tag. You will going to find an slash forward slash in every closing tags. Failing to add a closing tag in one of the beginner error and can lead to struggle. So keep in mind that you have to use closing tag forward slash in closing tag in order to complete a paragraph. The content, this is the content of element, which is in the case is just text. The element opening tag and closing the content together comprise the element. Element can also have attributes that look like the following. The main part of the element attribute, it is one of the most important part of the tag. Through an attribute we can use css style in order to represent. We can use css through in order to customize it in other form. Basically we grab the name of class paragraph class name. Basically we grab class name of our tag and done different operation in order to look different. Attribute contain extra information or the element that you don't want to appear in actual content. Here class in attribute name editor note and attribute value. The class attribute allow you to give an element non-unique identifier and can be used to target it with some style information and other things. Some attribute have no value such as required. Here can be an tag or element that have no attribute. Basically we can do different thing through attribute. So it's one of the important part of a tag. Attribute can set value of a space between it and element name or previous attribute if the element already has one more attribute. We are going with a good pace in this video. We have already covered 8 minutes and continuing it with the process. I believing in the process. We can one day, why God grace, we are going to speak in fluence in front. I'm going to speak in fluence in front of you about the different topic without any hesitation, without think about the who is watching me or not. That's the main goal of this playlist. Okay. We are going to talk about the nesting element. What does nesting element mean? Nesting element, you can put element inside another element too. It's called nesting. If you want to state that our cat is very grumpy, we could wrap the word very in a strong element, which means the word is strongly emphasized. So here we are talking about the two different tags. What does nesting means? Nesting means basically nesting means we can put one thing inside another, like in a curly. If you know that board mass, if you know about the board mass, there is off tag and then divide tag. Basically there are different element inside each other. We can put element inside one another in order to represent data in a different way. Here strong tag is used in order to represent vary in a different form or in a strong or in an uppercase. It's not used in an often, but yeah, it's also you do however need to make sure that element are properly nested. In example of a p open p element first, then a strong element. Therefore, we have close a strong element and then a p element. If we are that's in a that's in a strong rule. If we are opening and tag, you need to make sure that you have to close it down. Then only it going to run. Otherwise, it will break down. Void element. Now the other concept is void element. Some element have no content are called void element. Take an image. Image we have already have HTML page. Image source alt my test. This contain two attribute but have no closing. Oh, there can be who doesn't require even closing tag. We can use only attribute, and through those attributes we can design, we can structure. This is because an element doesn't wrap content to affect it. It proposes to embed an image in an HTML page in a place it appears. Okay, anatomy of HTML document. That's the wrap up the basic individual element, but they aren't handy of their own. Now we'll look how individual elements are combined in order to form an entire HTML page. Let's revisit the code put into our index HTML. Anatomy of HTML doc type. Basically, it's dividing this page into the open it brother. Basically dividing this page into different aspects, like why we use HTML, defining the different tag, what can we use in HTML part, what we define in header part. Here is one can be header part, yeah, you can see it out here. Why we use header part or why we use meta tag. You simply find the different tags we used out here. Images, let's now that as images tag. As we said, it image embed an image into our page in position. It does it that by a source attribute which contain the path of. There are two attributes in image tag. First one is image source. At source is defined the it represent the image path that we store in local computer. Alt is used basically it is used to define about the it describe the image why we are using this image, and it's good for SEO purpose also. This is visually impaired users with significant visual impairment is called screen reader to allow the alt tag to that. We are going to continue with process header. Their header tag in order to represent. And one thing I want to alert you that all these tags are going true in body tag, then only going to visible on the screen, otherwise they are not going to visible. One of them are header tag. Header tag is usually the biggest or main tag as compared to H2 H3 header tag we use in order to represent a text in form paragraph, that we are paragraph, then list in order to list links out there, conclusion. We have covered many good things in this video, like what are the different. We have covered the definition part of link, like what are the HTML, HTML, or can we say, or why we are using different tag, or we are talk about the what is paragraph tag, header tag, image list, unordered list, and many other things. We are going to continue with this series. Already covered 15 minutes in the second video of technology series. That's it for video. Keep hustling. I'm going to improve my speaking skill through this process. That's it my goal in order to do this, in order to create this playlist. And I think this is the only way. Through you can improve your speaking English. There is no another way. Target is to record a video at least about 15 minutes, not less than that, and through this video represent your ideas in English. If you're going to remember, if you're going to, let's talk about this. If you're going to remember, or going to read the grammar about how can we speak, then I think it's not going to help out in broader way. You can make sentences, you can improve your writing skill through it, but if you want to improve your speaking skill, then it required to speak out in front of other. There's only one way. Other way. There is no other way. You have to speak. That's it. That's it for the video. Next video. Till then, bye.